Hey everybody, this is Robert Monroe, and I am coming at you with another explained video. I am trying to explain this amazing theme from this video game. You might have heard of it. It's been a big success this year, Elden Ring. I love all of From Software's games because they are amazing. They're some of the best games because they kind of evoke that old school, vintage, hardcore, you versus the game setup, but they do it in a new flavor. So anyway, without further ado, we're not talking about the video game. We're talking about the music from Elden Ring, and specifically that lovely theme that starts it out that gets you pumped. I was listening to it more, and all it made me want to do was not record this. It made me want to go play the game. So let me play it for you and give you a little sample of it. I'm just going to play it on the piano here. So you get that theme when you're at the beginning of the game, and also later on when you're fighting some of the end bosses, that theme comes up. And let's break it down, give you some nerdy words to throw at your friends to let them know how smart you are about music and maybe kind of flex on them a little bit on this video game. So let's start out with this chord progression. So first of all, pretty straightforward to say we are in the key of C major. And you might go, wait a second, but Robert, we're actually in the key of A minor. Now, why do you say we're in the key of A minor? Well, it's because we're centering around A. Now, there's actually quite a few factors that would say it's a little more complicated than this, but for right now, I'm going to accept your counter argument, say we're in A minor. So A minor is 1, then we have F major, and then we have G major. This is a weird chord if we're in A minor, by the way. And then E minor. Also weird chord if we're in A minor. We should be expecting actually that G sharp here. So for example, if this was going to be a very common chord progression in A minor, it would actually be like this. That's not what we get. We actually get a combination of A minor and C major, and really way more C major at the beginning of this, which sets us up for the most epic moment that I have heard in a very long time, probably since Game of Thrones, and we probably will do that one next because it has a very interesting similar trick to this. So we start out and we have this A minor chord, then this F major, then G major, and then E minor. That makes us really feel that C major. It's kind of that pop thing that happens a lot, where like you probably know that song. It's by Avicii. Something like that. Anyway, don't need to get into that song. But basically, that chord progression has this sad flavor to it, but it really feels still in the major counterpart. Why? Because we're lacking the leading tone that brings us back to A minor, which is that G sharp. this actually doubles down with the C major chord, the second pass, because then it goes A minor, F, C. Very striking chord, and then the E minor kind of softens it a little. All of this, though, is a misdirect, and it is the most lovely misdirect ever, because then we get the actual melody coming in. Da, 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 da. Ooh, now we're in A minor territory. That G sharp is so epic. But then we go a completely different direction. We're expecting now go back to A minor, hunky-dory, strong minor sound. No, we flip it and go to C major instead. This allows for the epicness, the intensity, but also the mysteriousness and the weirdness of this game to come through in that melody. It's all about that G sharp or that A flat, however you want to think about it. It's weird because it actually sounds, and if you know this, that's called inharmonic spelling. There's a great word to throw around, inharmonic spelling. You have G sharp and you also have A flat. When this is with the F, it sounds like A flat. When it's with the G sharp in the left hand, it's all of a sudden G sharp. It's all contextual with what else is going on. Or two different spellings. Anyway, all right, enough about the harmony. The harmony's amazing. Let's talk a little bit about that melody. It's consisting entirely of two-note slurs. Two-note slurs. Very obvious to understand. Two meaning two. Note meaning things you press on the piano or on other instruments. Slur meaning together. They go together. They lead from one into each other. The two-note slur a lot of times is called a sigh because that's really what it sounds like. And that's what's happening the whole time. It sounds like we're crying out. There's a sadness involved with this game and a sense of loss, which actually, funnily enough, I feel like happens no matter how you end the game. It's very FromSoft if you follow their games. So those two things. The last is this rhythm. And I love how ambiguous it feels at the beginning because we have this really long held thing. And then we have the drums come in. So we get basically this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, which becomes very obvious as it goes on, but at the beginning, it's unclear. And that is because nothing establishes the rhythm right away. There's no drum going tat, 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 tat. So this rhythm here is compound meter. Now, what is compound meter? Compound meter is when you are dividing things into groups of 3 instead of 2. So if you were going to write this out, you probably would write it in the time signature of 12/8, which is 4/4, but in compound meter. So instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, da 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 da, 1, 2, 3, da 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 da. So that gives us this very epic. To me, 12/8 might be the most epic time signature. So let's finish up here. We've got harmony. The harmony is confused. It's got a bit of C major in it. And it's got a bit of A minor in it. Then we've got melody being that two-note slur, that sigh. Da-dee, da-dee. You get the idea. Finally, we have the rhythm. The rhythm is this 12/8 compound meter, which gives us ambiguity or uncertainty at the beginning, and then it resolves into the very epic driving drums all the way until the end. We could talk about so much more on this song. We could talk about orchestration. We could talk about texture. We could talk about dynamic range. So much we could talk about, but that's all I want to mention right now. You got some cool words to throw at your friends. Hopefully this helped you out to understand it a little bit more. Like we do with these videos, I'm going to do my own take, and then we're just going to play myself out. So let's say we want to make something like this. I think we do an interplay of major and minor to make this happen. So we're going to go to E major. We're going to kind of do the opposite. We're actually going to start in major, and then we're going to imply minor later on. So we're going to start very confidently in major. Ooh, okay. Huh, interesting. So we actually imply a different key than we started on. We acted like we're in E major, but when we play the B minor chord, now we're not anymore. And then we go to A major. Let's do that one pass through again. But then the second time, we're going to go to A minor here at the end. Something like that. So if you've enjoyed this, I'm Robert Monroe. I love making these explain videos. I'm doing a pop series right now. I stream on Twitch. I do a lot of content on Twitter. So I'll have links to that type of stuff below. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this makes you appreciate your favorite game just a little bit more. And until next time, stay, I don't know, something to do with FromSoft. I'm drawing a blank, but have a fantastic day.